Hey, folks.
Hey.
Here's the deal. Pell Grants used to cover 80% of the cost of going to a public four-year college. Today, Pell Grants cover 30%, roughly 32%.
Blame the college, pal.
1/3 of the cost as opposed to before. It matters. I remember walking up,
No, you don't.
my dad, like probably a lot of your folks,
You don't remember
cared a
anything.
lot about your education.
Is that
And
John
my dad
Favreau
was
with
a
him?
very well-read man, particularly history, and but it was a great regret. And you always say, Joey, you're going to be a college man.
Great
And I'd
regret.
say, Dad, but what does
idiot.
that
I
matter?
can't.
I mean, you can still get fired if you're a college man. And I remember my senior year, I got into one of the little Ivies, and I got into a number of schools, and
What?
trying to get the money, even with financial assistance, to be able to go there. And
Oh, he's
I
such a
remember
liar.
going down after a baseball game. I went to a really
After
good
I hit a
school
home
up in
run.
Claymont, Delaware, on the Pennsylvania border.
Hit the Grand Slam,
And
winning.
drove down to Newark, Delaware, where my dad worked at an automobile agency. And I walked in, and I had my spikes, and because the reason I was going down, when your dad works at an automobile agency, the great advantage, you get a new car to go to the prom, or a good used car off the lot. You think I'm joking? I'm not
No,
joking.
we don't know what you're
So
saying.
I went down with
We don't know you're joking. Joking.
with, beach
No idea what the hell
towels
you're
for seat
speaking
covers.
English.
And I had my uniform on, my spikes off. I ran in, and the woman's name was Mary, who ran the place. I said, Mary, where's Dad? She said, he's out in the lane going into the repair shop. Give him my word, true story. Something Jill and I,
it's a
Kamal
lie.
and Doug, we understand deeply. I'm sure the vast majority of you do as well. But over time, that ticket has become too expensive for
This,
Now
is,
what?
a
too many
this is a
Americans.
college-educated man.
All this means
You're
is
top
the
of the class.
an entire generation is now saddled with unsustainable debt in exchange for an attempt, at least, at a college degree. We responded aggressively to the
Emeritus.
pandemic to minimize the economic impact of the harm of COVID imposed on individuals, families, and
Just
businesses.
gone.
He's just
You all were
babbling.
there. It was recovery. Look,
Just gone.
We increased unemployment benefits for workers who were laid off. Remember those long lines you guys would all film of cars, decent-looking cars, not jalopies, nice
No,
cars.
not a jalopy.
Just waiting for a box of food to be put in the trunk? Our approach is why America's economic recovery was faster and stronger than any other advanced nation in the world. Working closely with the Secretary of Education, he's got the hard job, quite frankly, to fix the system itself, which when we came in, we both acknowledged was
How about we
broken
eliminate his whole
in
department?
terms of, anyway.
He didn't.
Using the
I mean,
authority
what's
Congress
that?
granted the Department of Education,
How about that?
we will forgive $10,000 in outstanding federal student loans.
All the kids born in 1980
It's a
are
game
smarter.
changer. No high-income individual or high-income household, on top of the 5%, in the top 5% of incomes, by the way, will benefit from this action, period.
Make the font
And
bigger.
by the way, when this happens, the whole economy is better off. Independent
sure.
experts agree that these actions taken together will provide
Independent
real benefits
experts.
for families without
The
meaningful
bankers?
effect on
21
inflation.
Nobel laureates wrote
Let's
him a
be
letter.
clear. I hear it all the time.
Oh, wait. He,
How do we
Department
pay
of
for it?
Education teach them how to formulate a
Pay for
sentence.
it by what we've done. The point is this.
Oh,
There's
a point?
plenty of deficit reduction to pay for the programs.
Look at those
cumulative
eyes.
deficit reduction to pay
Look
for the
at the
programs many
eyes.
times over.
Oh my
I
God,
will
he looks
never
like he died
apologize
3 weeks
for
ago.
helping Americans working Americans with middle class. We've never apologized
like the
when the
poster
federal
boy for
government forgave
dehydration.
almost every single cent of over $700 billion in loans to hundreds of thousands of small businesses across America during the pandemic. No one complained.
Hurry up, somebody get him a
Those
4-year-old to
loans caused
sniff.
inflation.
He's running out of energy.
So my
look at
message
Cardona.
to
He's got his
all
eyes locked on the thing,
servants,
too, just to see what the hell he's
all
saying.
public
What is he
servants, all
saying?
those
He's reading the teleprompter too. He is.
He's got to read it,
is
too.
He's reading the
out with
teleprompter.
student debt to go. Here's what you want. If you're worried about how to do it, go to
Look at his hands.
PSLF.
Worry about how to do it.
.gov.
Oh, good. He's
We're
giving
gonna
out
have
websites.
people who are there to help get you, help direct you and work you through the process. Now, I understand not everything I'm announcing today is going to make everybody happy. Something is too much. I find it interesting how some of my Republican friends who voted for those tax cuts and others think that we shouldn't be helping these folks. Let me close with this.
Boy, if that's not
I
the
ran for office to grow the economy from the bottom up and the middle out. Because when we
Jerry
do that,
Nadler,
everybody does better. Everybody does well.
You know, I got
that's the perfect snapshot of liberal mentality. Lowering taxes, incentivizing businesses to hire and productivity, incentivizing, lowering taxes, unleashing American energy, prosperity, the American capitalism is the same as what he's equating that with what he's doing today. That's the perfect snapshot of the two minds.